Hello, Dr. Archer Crosley, and welcome to Real World Pediatrics. So, naturally, you want your child to go far in life. Most parents want their children to exceed where they may have failed. In short, they want them to have a better life. Well, how are they going to get that better life? Now, in certain fields, in certain occupations, you don't need connections in order to succeed. For example, if you want to open up a pizza shop, you can do it, and you don't need to know anybody in order to set up that pizza shop or even to make a great pizza. The same goes for just about any small business. But there are certain occupations where connections are important. And here we're talking about politics and politics on a more national level. Now, I'd love to be able to tell you that connections don't matter, but they do. And so if your child wants to go to the top, they have to hang out with the people who are the most influential. They have to run with the swift. In other words, it helps to get into their club. In fact, in any major organization, there's generally a club at the top that runs things. That's just the way it is. I don't like it, but it exists. So if you want to be a power player, you have to get in that club. Now, that doesn't guarantee that you're going to come out on top, but it does help your chances. Now, when I was a boy, it was emphasized to us that America was a place where anyone could be president of the United States. And this is largely true, as long as you go to an elite university. When you look back at who the presidents of the United States have been over the past 40 years, all of them have come from Harvard, Yale, or another Ivy League school. Bush, Clinton, Bush, Obama, Trump. And if J.D. Vance is elected in 4 years, that will be another. One exception, Joe Biden. When you look at the cabinet officers in our federal government, many, many, many have come from an Ivy League school. When you look at the most powerful players in big business in the United States, again, a disproportionate amount come from Ivy League schools and schools that have that status. Again, that's not the way I want it to be. That's just the way it is. It's also a fact of life that people who attend these schools feel more comfortable with their classmates or fellow alumni. People generally like what they know. And the people who control the big money that finances these major political figures have either attended these schools themselves or have family who have attended these schools. So if you're in that club, they'll feel better about you. And they'll advance you if they think you have the right stuff. You will have the machine behind you. That's the way humanity works. There's no getting around it. Now, that doesn't mean that you can't make it on your own if you come from nowhere and go to a non-name brand school. You certainly can, but you increase your chances by attending one of these schools. And that way, you can become a member of the club too. And when you join the club will look out for you. That's the upside. The downside is that you have to do what the club wants when the club asks you for a favor. And you can't refuse that favor, even though you may not want to do it. If you do refuse it, the club will revoke your privileges. That's the way it is. That's reality. There's a price to be paid for being in the club. So think long and hard about what you want for your child. Thank you.